That's what I hear. Next year up to $4. But, you know, part of this whole thing, why the delays and all that, they say that's to try and keep the tolls from going up to $5.
Oh, I bet that's in the future.
Yeah. What's the date they're going to be finished?
2013.
And what's the over-under on the toll then by 2013?
Oh, yeah, it's anybody's guess. I mean, you know, throw a
$13
dart.
maybe?
No betting, no betting. We don't want to get in trouble here.
You have to start using your ATM card to get through the toll gate.
There you go.
As you may remember, the water level out here got up to 4 feet, 48 inches of standing water. Well, this fire line tape is 4 feet high. I hold it up against this trash can. You can see this trash can was completely underwater on Saturday.
And in fact, this is a tale of two cities, Pacifica to the north and Half Moon Bay to the south, separated by a common calamity, a rock slide on Highway 1.
Now, did you think that the battle between California's public employee unions and the Schwarzenegger administration was over simply because the governor's initiatives were defeated? Think again and stay tuned for the next episode because it started this morning. They came by the hundreds, they came by the thousands, and they kept on coming to see this.
You got dollars, I fell out the boat.
The Rolling Stones and their Bigger Bang World Tour.
Flew all the way from London.
We saw them a couple weeks ago in Calgary.
New York, the Bronx. See the Rolling Stones. I've been seeing them since 1971.
In fact, a good portion of the concert crowd was older baby boomers.
When was the first time you listened to them?
Oh, when I was 13 years old.
God, when I was 10.
Then again, the main members of the Stones themselves are senior citizens. Keith Richards is 61, Mick Jagger 62. So is it any wonder that 81-year-old Joanne Reynolds is bringing her family?
And you're a fan.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Are you going to go in there and yell and scream?
Oh, you bet. I got my daughter. Not.
Younger fans didn't seem to mind.
It doesn't matter what age anyone is, it's going to be a good time.
And for some folks, the Stones concert was like a Sunday social.
Family night out, you know.
Family night out?
With the Stones, yeah.
Yeah, multi-generational.
Of course.
It's a bonding event.
Well, Barbara, since all four of these fires happened within a 2-block area of each other, and since all four are now considered acts of arson, Berkeley police will be involved in this investigation. What has everyone worried, though, is that unlike the other 3 fires, this one, which we're told started right up there on the balcony of this house, directly threatened 4 lives.
My whole bed was inflamed. This whole window was inflamed. It was just a mess.
Kathleen Zatani remembers in horrifying detail the fire that consumed her house and almost took her life.
And then I heard somebody on the street screaming, "Fire! Fire in your house! Get out!"
Zatani, who was asleep at the time, rushed to wake her family and then returned to her bedroom.
When I went into my bedroom, my bed was engulfed in flames. And that's how fast it happened. Within 7 minutes, my bed was engulfed in flames where I had been sleeping.
This is the 4th in a series of Berkeley blazes that happened in the past 5 days on or near a 2-block section of Essex Street. On Monday night, this vacant structure, which was under construction at the intersection of Essex and Shattuck, was torched, as was some brush in the BART station parking lot near Essex and Adeline. Then, just before midnight last night, the BART station parking lot was attacked again, followed by the burning of this home just around the corner on Essex.
There's kind of too many coincidences happening in that neighborhood right now, so we're going to put some resources out there, but we need the community's help.
Berkeley police are concerned that an arsonist may be on the loose. The family of 4 that lived in this house is concerned that they have lost the place that they called home for the last 18 years.
Seeing my childhood home completely destroyed, it's hard to take in.
Oh, my husband's paintings. Oh, that's really horrible. Those are the ones I'm going to miss the most.
Investigators say last night's fire cost an estimated $130,000 in damage, bringing this week's total loss to almost $500,000. Folks are out here right now trying to reclaim any personal belongings that they can pull from the rubble. There's quite a bit of debris out here in front of the house. See if they can find any of the valuables that are still unscathed from the flames. In the meantime, Berkeley police want to ask folks to be watching in this neighborhood for any suspicious people. And Berkeley Fire want folks to remove any clutter from around their houses that might be tempting to this arson. Well, Dana, let me ask you, have you ever worked for a company that didn't know who was on its payroll? Well, that's what the state claims has been going on here with the Oakland Unified School District, which is why some 7,000 of its employees had to jump through hoops today just to get paid.
Let me tell you, many of them were not happy campers.
You talk about dysfunction, it's not getting any better, it's getting worse.
Dozens of angry Oakland school employees are letting their bosses know that they don't like the idea of having to come down in person to the district and then identify themselves before they can get paid.
They should have a tally of who their employees are. They shouldn't have to have everybody leave their jobs, leave on their spare time to come down here to do something they should know about already.
Oddly enough, not everyone was upset.
I love working for Oakland Unified School District, and I absolutely love getting my money. I'll get it wherever I can get it.
Despite the fact that you had to come down here?
Yes, it was a joy to come down here.
My name was there, right on the list. Got it?
The mass payathon is taking place over 2 days, requiring hundreds of extra man hours.
You gotta go down the stairs. What about the people that's in there? I'm gonna try to get them down. Can I get you guys down?
In fact, many of the school employees had to trek up 4 flights of stairs because the building's elevator suddenly stopped working, trapping people inside for a short time.
Have you sign right here, please?
The reason for the ID check is because the troubled school district was tens of millions of dollars in the hole, requiring a 4% pay cut, dozens of layoffs, and the closure of 5 schools. Then state auditors determined that some so-called ghost employees were getting paychecks even though they didn't work for the district.
It would be responsible through my office, and that's why we're here today.
The district's chief financial officer says an old checks and balances system was the culprit of the problem. She says a new system designed to eradicate those ghost employees is now in place, and today's ID check helps validate its functionality.
It does happen occasionally. If an employee is terminated and it doesn't get input in the system that they're terminated, it could happen. And this process is just to ensure that it doesn't happen.
Although the payroll check is theoretically saving taxpayer dollars, these protesting employees believe it's being done at their expense.
Well, let me tell you, a number of teachers have been wandering out here, letting us know that they're not happy about having to trek out here in the rain and then spend some of their own personal time taking their check to the bank. In fact, one lady came up here just moments ago and let us know that the situation upstairs where she got her check is very busy, very long, and likened it to a day at the DMV. Dana, can you believe all of this? We're 17 days away from the first day of spring. Right over there, about 17 miles out, is the Pacific Ocean. And yet here I am, standing with a snowball in about 17-degree weather. Nope, this is not a ski slope, it's a driveway. And this satellite dish now has a plate full of snow. But we're not in the Sierra. This is the South Bay off Highway 17 in between Santa Cruz and San Jose, an area that overnight became a winter wonderland.
Considering when I went to bed, I didn't get to see the news, so I had no idea this was going to be happening. I was very surprised, yes.
Just how much of a dramatic change has there been in the weather in this area? Take a look at this plant. Within the last month, it's obviously been warm enough for this flower to bloom. Now it's freezing to death. The snow came down so fast that it has yet to accumulate under some trees. It caught the driver of this garbage truck off guard. His tires couldn't maintain their traction.
And when he stopped to make his pickup, he felt his truck start to slide. So rather than panic and jump out or do something crazy or try to spin the tires, he just sat there patiently for about 45 minutes with his foot on his brake until he could get someone up here to chalk the tires.
For the most part, the roads throughout the Santa Cruz Mountains have remained open. However, the Highway Patrol is warning drivers of the icy road conditions in the area.
Isn't it great to just live up here and see all this snow? We get it about every 4 years, but this year we've had it like probably 5 or 6 days.
For some residents, though, this late winter blast from Mother Nature is not something to be scorned, but rather cherished.
The nice thing is the kids can run out of the house and they're not 5 feet from the road, and they can climb trees, and it's wonderful up here.
Some of the folks up here say they weren't prepared for the snow. They don't own snow boots. They don't have ice scrapers. On the other hand, many of the folks look at all of this as being an adventure. Well, today was certainly an adventure for our meteorologist, Lawrence Carno, who joins us now from the Weather Center with more on what we can expect. Lawrence?
Yeah, Eric, that is pretty cool. You don't get to see the snow like that often in the Bay Area.
We did this for Mother's Day.
Whether or not that's true, 2 of San Francisco's most violent gangs, Oakdale and Harbor Road, have called a truce to their warfare.
Everything is over with. Shook hands and left it like that.
These gangs from the Bayview neighborhood have a bloody history. For instance, police believe members of Oakdale are behind the recent drive-by shooting death of 22-year-old Terrell Rollins. Rollins, who was not affiliated with the gang, had recently been placed in the Witness Protection Program after he agreed to testify about the murder of 20-year-old Archelius Collins, a Kirkwood gang member allegedly gunned down by Oakdale.
Oh, my God.
But today in Bayview, instead of planning the next assault, they were planning for the future.
We don't talk about the past, we're all about the future, and the future is money and wisdom and knowledge for the kids.
We saw individuals who were of rival gangs playing basketball together, having a barbecue.
A member of SFPD's gang task force doesn't know what motivated the piece, but says it shows a sense of maturity since they don't believe the truce had outside influence.
It appears in this instance we had a couple of individuals from the inside who are from the neighborhood or who were a part of the problem, who've obviously come to terms with their own activity in order to get some of this stuff to stop.
Officers hope the peace lasts and that the community will support it with job training and sprucing up the Bayview area neighborhoods. In San Francisco, Eric Alvarez, CBS 5 Eyewitness News.